Hello and welcome to another Macro Friday here on Scriptcase by Jamie. And I am Jamie, of course, your host, showing you how to use the macros that are available within Scriptcase to help you develop much faster with much less code, even though you have LLMs today. But yes, so much faster than an LLM, or AI if you like to call it that. Okay, so let's dive in, shall we, and check this macro out. Hello and welcome back. Yes, we have another macro day today, and today we are looking at the SCURL library macro. Now this macro is a pretty awesome macro, and you more than likely use it quite often, or should or would, let's say. Now what is the SCURL library macro? Well, what's it all about? Well, this macro, you can kind of think of it as maybe the GPS for your files. Yes, the GPS, meaning that when you place extra files such as pictures, photos, styles, scripts, or whatever else it may be into your Scriptcase external libraries, they are typically hidden within a special folder. And this macro finds that exact address for you within Scriptcase so that your applications can use them without you having to know the full path. And that is, of course, quite important in many cases. Now, you may want to use this macro within your project when you add maybe extra style sheets, or maybe extra JavaScript, or PHP scripts maybe, or any type of scripts, whatever they may be, you would place them within your external libraries. So let's have a quick look at that first of all before we have a look further here at the macro. So here within Scriptcase, that is accessible up here within the tools, and there you have then external libraries, and that then opens this window for you. And then here within the external libraries, you have the Scriptcase provided libraries, and you have here the samples and security. And now they are both the same, just one of them has been updated and has a few extra features in there, or capabilities such as languages and so forth. So which one to use, that is something you will have to check out. Now I think the samples has been upgraded already, but as you see, even in this project, I am using the security library, which is not true. I am in fact using the samples, and you can tell that by here on the right hand side it says remove library and use library. So to use this library, I click on use, and then I need to save the project libraries, and then by doing so those files are then added to your project. Or I can click on remove, and it will then remove those files or the library from your project. Now if you are wanting to use one of these default Scriptcase ones, those would typically allow you then to change your security login page, or you may want to use those as a templates, because you have templates for forms as well as other custom elements that you are then able to create within Scriptcase. And then you can best use them by saving as first of all, and then saving them within your project folder, and this way all of those files then become available for your project. So here for instance, if I click on save as, I would then choose here public or project. Public is then available for everyone, and within the Scriptcase documentation that would be indicated as system. Okay, so that's important to note. Now here you could choose them public, for instance, and then I could place them in there, or I can attach them then to the project itself. Now within public, it would then be accessible to all of your projects if you enable by clicking here again the use library. Otherwise the library will not be available. So as you see here with this project, I have the project folder here. And I have 4 sets of external libraries attached to this, and I can go ahead and remove those libraries and then save the project files as they are. I can save this library also as another public library. Maybe I want to have something else or add extra files into that or whatever it is for maybe another project. And I can also rename and edit the files. Now clicking on edit will then basically open the folder structure, and then from here you then upload your files. You can upload a zip file and decompress all of those files, and then you will have the same folder structure that you have within the zip file or locally, and then you would have them available within here. Now we can edit the name or edit the file. So editing the file, we just click on the file itself, and then we can edit the file here within the editor, or changing the name of that file name also just by clicking the pen. Now we can delete the files also, and as I said, we can upload files, clicking the upload button. We can add new files in here. We can create directories also, and like that we can organize our external libraries so that it makes sense. Now, depending on the external library, you may want to have a folder structure, you may not have a folder structure, whatever it is, depending also on the files that you upload and add into your external library. And as I was saying, once you have uploaded your files and you're happy with that and you want to use them within your project, be sure to click the Use Library button, and that will then display the Remove Library, and then always click the Save Project Files. Okay, so let's have a look then at our macro, because now this macro, well, it requires 3 pieces of information, and that is quite important. So first of all, we have the macro right here, and I'm just going to copy paste this bit here at the top. So that there is our macro as we have it, and as you see here, this is in fact how we use it within our application. Now you can use this within the onScriptInit, or as you see here within the blank application, and then we just add that with our open close PHP indicators here, or brackets, whatever, and then we add then, for instance, the link or the JavaScript or whatever it is that you are adding, and then you just add here the macro, you echo the macro out, and that is then added with the SCURL library. We then indicate the status, or what should I say, the location of your external library first of all. So that is essentially the target, okay? And that is then here our external library. Now we have either PRJ for project libraries, and that is what we then have, you know, within your project libraries, as I was showing you a few moments ago, and then you have sys, which is then the public libraries. Now, after that, you then define the name of the library. So let me come back in here to Tools and External Libraries. Now this then org chart, for instance, would then be the name of the library that you're actually applying here. So that would come in here where I have my custom theme, for instance. And then after the comma, we add then the full path and file name for that library. So if I come back here to the External Libraries and edit here the org chart, here we have no path at all. So here we just add, say for instance, the font awesome min.css. We can just add that straight in there. And just like that, then we're using the font awesome library, or here the jQuery org chart.js. Whichever it is you want to use, you add then the full path in there. So if it is located within a folder, then we want to add the folder name there as well, and then the file name dot the extension. And it's pretty straightforward to use. And then with that, you are able to use either your custom themes, custom scripts, and you can import pretty much anything you want into Scriptcase and then create applications on those extra frameworks, extra scripts, or themes, whatever it is. Now it's important that you then upload your files into that external library folder, and from there you just add them into your files. Now, as I mentioned, you need to use this in the onScriptInit, so onScriptInit, And from there, you can then use it also within your other applications. So maybe within the control form or grid application, wherever it is, you would then be able to use your external libraries then also. And of course, by adding external libraries into your project, you increase the power or availability of extra features, functions within Scriptcase without having to worry that nothing works, or that you cannot use a specific framework or JavaScript, maybe whatever it is. You can use those without any issues. So it's a pretty straightforward example this week, of course, again, because the SCURL library, it depends on the libraries that you want to add, and then also the functionality that you want to add as well. So of course, it will be one of those macros that we will be showcasing within an overall macro video again, because then within typical blank applications where maybe you want to have a custom theme, a custom layout, a custom page or form or whatever it is, you would then maybe want to apply your files into the external library and then call them within the SCURL library macro. And that way you have a much cleaner environment, let's say, or a project that you are basically going to export. And you never have to worry about the file paths, exactly where they are, other than the file path that you have created here within the external libraries. And just like that, you can then add any type of scripts, any type of extra frameworks or styles or whatever it is that you want to add into this. So for instance, if you wanted to add, say, AI, as much as I hate to say that, LLMs, you can apply those also by using or uploading those required files into the external library and then creating your applications using this very specific macro. And just like that, you have a whole new application that is not available within Scriptcase because you've just gone and created it yourself, which is pretty awesome. Now, you may see also in many videos that every so often this is actually used for various purposes. So if I remember at some point there was a payment form that was created and that flipped around the credit card when you changed the fields and so forth. And that required some JavaScript as well as some styling that was included with those scripts, and all of those you would then add to your external libraries and just add them like so. Pretty straightforward, I would say. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you use this macro, and I hope this video is also helpful for you. Of course, if you have any questions, doubts, you can always reach out and get in touch, and I will of course be happy to help you further. So thanks very much for watching, and until next week Friday, where we have another macro video for you showing you the real awesome power of Scriptcase when it comes to developing. So thanks for watching, and until next week's video.